Now I'm betting you've seen this article. Or more accurately, you've seen that image. You won't have read the article most probably unless you subscribe to the Times, because it's behind a paywall. Not a one that's easy to get around. I, however, have a full text of the entire article that's been passed to me. Let's break it down and see if it's as inflammatory as the headline says. Okay, this is another one where I'm going to have to be working from a sheet. I've got my notes here. There's about 4 pages of them. We will work through it. Now, what I will not be doing, if you're hoping this is going to be a character assassination of the writer James Marriott, it's not going to be. I'm going to be very even-handed with this. It's more about the content of the article and what I think's went on. So the headline is AI spells trouble for creative, about time too. And then the byline is machines that can write and paint or welcome rebuff to the prestige enjoyed by artistic types. Now that's the stuff that got you right there, wasn't it? Certainly got me riled up as well. So James Marriott writes, and this was from Wednesday the 25th of January 2023 at 9 PM at night. Vanity, egotism, a desire to be thought of, more interesting at parties. Well, that's what he wanted, not what he's saying. And he was talking to a room full of students. And he says, so yes, well, it's true that I love books and ideas. A spirit of guilty self-criticism now compels me to confess that I was also after a lifestyle. This is more about him than it does about us or any creative people. He wanted to fit in. He wanted to be one of the cool kids. I wanted to join the creative classes. I wanted to pile back issues of the New York on my coffee table and cultivate intimidating bookshelves. I wanted to look down on management consultants. Such were the useful snobberies I mistook for principles. Right, now again, this says more about him than anybody else. I don't know any artist that has piles of back issues of the New Yorker and looks down on other people. Speaking from a personal point of view, I know people that have both been long-term unemployed and people that are millionaires. I treat them both exactly the same. I look down on nobody, and I'd advise everybody else to do the same. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. Well, unless you jump in the air and try and get both in at once, but they'll just fall in your arse. So he's in an Oxford pub, and he writes that he came, the subject went on to something that he wasn't anticipating: artificial intelligence, graphic design, journalism and advertising. Did these careers still offer reliable futures? AI can write news stories. Yes, it can. Not particularly good ones, but give it time. It can produce paintings of startling and eerie beauty. Not quite sure about that. Were they all fated to become functionaries of a machine, reluctant butlers to an imperious algorithm? Well, he's asking the right question, albeit in a very, very overly complicated way. Yes, it can write news stories. Yes, it's getting better. It can do paintings. Sometimes it's quite nice and really good to look at. Other times it's people with 9 fingers. But these things are in a process of development, and imagine a year, 2, 5, 10, 20 years time, whole different ballgame. I sympathise. Good! At least he sympathised with somebody. He wasn't just thinking about himself. In computing, Moravec's paradox states that the things that people find easy, AI finds difficult. And things that AI finds easy, people find difficult. Yeah, that's pretty much a given. We find it easy to know how many fingers I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each hand. That's too much for autistic AIs. Fine motor skills challenge AI. For a robot to walk into a room and pick up all the dirty mugs counts as a remarkable achievement. But a series of oil sketches in the style of Singer Sargent, such as the ones I recently requested from an AI software, are easy. Yes. DALL-E, it's a work of seconds, and the result's not much inferior to the minor works of the master himself. Graphic designers may be more vulnerable to automation than cleaners. Oh yes, indeedy. Yes, you remember all those people that say, study, otherwise you'll end up cleaning for a living, or digging holes in the road. I never like that. Why should I look down on people doing a manual labour job? People have different strengths. The key there is not much inferior to minor works of the master himself. It is not of the same calibre as Singer Sargent's best paintings. Yet. Depressing for students, depressing for me. Yeah, depressing for most people, mate. But a welcome strike against the tedious idea that creativity is the highest impulse of humanity. Art, the platitude runs, is what makes us human. Well, art, music, creativity, the ability to sort of help to care for another ill human being. We justify value in terms of creativity. In his book on AI, the mathematician Master Satoy, I hope I haven't marmalised that, calls humans the organism that drives to create. So we've got a mathematician writing about stuff well outside of his area. Just saying. We do create things. That's one of the things that we do, whether it's creating new dishes to cook, artworks, music, poetry, stories. We create things. We create buildings. I know guys that have building firms. They create buildings. You've got the architects that design the buildings. Everybody creates a thing somehow. Children are natural artists. Yeah, I've always said that a child is the nearest form of pure art. Ask a child once they're able to hold a crayon to draw a human, and you'll see a circle. Then the legs will come out the head and so will the arms. And you think, well, that's not right. However, take yourself down to their level. What they see, being tiny, is all these legs The body's just a tiny bit in the middle, then there's arms coming out and a head. That's what they see. They're showing what they see. The twilight of religion required new justifications for the cosmic specialness of humans. If we are not made in God's image, what is it about us that makes us divine? I don't know. I'm just a bloody artist and a musician, mate. The answer was that the artist's creation of sublime paintings or poetry put him in touch with the numinous. Numinous? Is that right? I don't know. Versions of this idea can be found everywhere, from Coleridge to Schaffenhausen. Yeah, it's one of those you create, you are closer to God. I'm not entirely sure I believe that. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything, really. Or I do, but it's very complicated. Now, quite banal instances of human creativity are preposterously overvalued. Well, actually, I can agree with this. Yes, there's some stuff that you look at it, especially in the fine art world, and you're like, are you having a fucking laugh? That's a paperclip stuck to the wall with masking tape. That is not worth 2 million of anybody's money. Now, why should a newspaper columnist or an advertising copywriter feel himself to be more interested in a bank or a cleaner? The answer is he shouldn't. None of us should. We're all born equal. You should all be treated equal. Maybe we're not always treated equal. I would never look down on somebody because they weren't an artist or a musician, because they were a plumber or electrician or anything else. Why would I look down on that? And more importantly, why should you? Doing art does not give you a special place in the universe. Remember that. Skeptics such as the psychology professor Gary Marcus argue that AI cannot be creative because it lacks internal understanding. It's merely a king of pastiche, blindly pasting together influences from human artists. But this is close to what those original artists were doing too. Yeah, we all look to our peers. Musicians especially, you'll learn, if you're a guitarist, you're probably going to learn Smoke on Water. An artist might try to, well, you wouldn't do Pierre Mondrian because that's just squares. Very well balanced squares, but squares. You get what I mean? You would try to be influenced by another artist, and eventually you develop your own style. And does it even matter what's going on internally now that human audiences fail to distinguish between a composition by a robot and one by Bach, and tell researchers they prefer a painting by an AI to one done by a person? I'd like some references for that, please, because I've never seen that happen. And AI paintings, well, it's what I call the Athena poster syndrome. Some images speak to the man or the woman in the street more than fine artwork. They maybe just want a picture of a wolf or a sunset or some woman playing tennis scratching her backside. It doesn't mean that that is of a high quality or even a low quality. How impressive is a lot of human creativity? Well, to be fair, the vast majority isn't. As the education expert Daisy, oh Jesus, Christodoulopoulos, it's on the screen. Look, I'm not good at languages, right? I've probably murdered that. And if this person does Daisy, blah, 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 if you see this, I'm very sorry for butchering your name, but, you know, I'm from Concert, right? And she puts it, ChatGPT supernaturally produces a superficially plausible essays that fall apart under closer scrutiny. But plenty of humans write essays like that too. And that is one of the criticisms of PPE graduates. Yes. This is the thing. I've just finished doing the final marking on semester A for the university, and while I won't go into detail about current students, in the past there's definitely been times where the stuff that they've put out would be equaled by an AI because they haven't finished developing and learning yet. Just throwing it out there. AI should disillusion us of the spurious glamour of creativity. Glamour? Has he met a fucking artist? I'm sitting here with next to nothing in the bank. On the digital art side, the one thing I never had was glamour. You're working away, usually a capital city. However, you're working so hard you never have a chance to go and see stuff. Maybe at weekends. Usually with a hangover. It will be good for those who have suffered the social condescension of creatives. If somebody is condescending because they are an artist, that's not because they're an artist. That's because they're a twat. Simple as that. You don't get to say it's because they're an artist. No, they're just an absolute arsehole. It may even be good for a country whose creative class has long assumed an undue authority and delivered us catastrophic experiments in government by arts graduates. The fuck is that all about? Dude, like, that's just a word salad. It really is. You can tell he's done this when he's tired, right? Well, I hope AI doesn't take those students' jobs, but I also hope it helps us to see that being creative does not inevitably imply that you are unusually interested or unusually intelligent. Yes, this. Being creative doesn't give you a special pass in life. Simple as that. All it means is that you're all good at a thing. What do I think about the headline of this article? I honestly think that James Marriott has been lined up by his editor. The headline is very inflammatory. If you read the article, it's fairly boring, to be honest. There's not that much to take great exception to. So if I was him, I would be keeping an eye on the editor because he's doing a thing. I've also suspected that parts, if not all of this article, was actually wrote by ChatGPT as one giant troll. Because parts of it, especially near the end with the word salad, if you break it down, it's the sort of way that ChatGPT creates text. Just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out that was the case later on. I want to address some other stuff that came up in numerous conversations online around this article, usually by people who haven't read the whole article. I will put the link to the version that's without the paywall below. So have yourself a good read, but it's mostly in that vein. I've not missed that much out. But a lot of people were saying that, oh, these artistic types, and they're just gifted this artistic or musical ability. Fuck off. That's not how it works. I don't know any artist or musician that haven't had to put a shit pile of work in. Somebody said to me, you know, that artists are gatekeepers. They're gatekeeping the whole art community. I had this conversation with my brother last night, and I'll tell you what I told him. Nobody's gatekeeping anything. If you want to learn to draw, get a piece of paper and a pencil and practice. A lot. Weeks. Years. Keep working out why something looks wrong and keep on doing it. If you can't afford pencil and paper, cavemen made do with a rock and another rock to scrape on it. There is always a way. Humans have been making marks that they find attractive or informative since we were very first proto-humans. So nobody's gatekeeping anything. So what I'm saying is, there's no shortcuts. This is not the bloody Matrix, and we can't just plug the knowledge into your head. I would love to be able to do that. I could sell the knowledge in my head for millions. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. You have to put the hard work in. And if you're not prepared to put the hard work in, do not complain when somebody else is and they achieve things. But also, if you achieve things, don't go lording it on over other people. Don't go bragging about how much money you're making or all these cool projects you're working on all the time. I've never done that in my hometown. Why would I do that? Why would I want to big myself up? Because to be fair, somebody would give us a damn good slap, and I would have deserved it. Now, if you enjoyed this about AI, have a look at the last video that'll be appearing probably there or there on the AI lawsuits and breaking down in depth both of them and what they actually mean for you as a creative person. I'm Wayne Robson. This has been Life After 3D. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.